It's a hoax, folks. And that's the world we're living in, is a bunch of hoax. And this is Thoughts While Thinking, and these opinions are mine. And we got to remember that the freedoms that we surrender today, our grandchildren will never know. Think about it. We don't want to surrender our freedoms, but it looks like that's where it's going, all under all this hoaxy, folksies, and it's all about this wokesies. And we got the wokesy policy, we got the wokesy action, we got the ocean power, we got the ocean wokesies, and we got to look at all of this stuff and think about the wokesy, the hoaxies, and it's not a much of a hoax when you look at the Democratic Party now. It looks like the Chinese are taking over, and that's not a hoax, but it's kind of wokesy, and look at that, and we got to go from there, and we got to watch this hoax that's we're going on out there. We got to work on it, and there's good and evil out there jumping around, and it's all based on the wokes and the folks and all the corruption in Washington, and we got to think about draining the swamp, and we got to maybe think about term limits or something on that to get rid of that corruption. And because the government in Washington smells like a outhouse, and it's probably got about as much crap in the bottom of it as it is, because the banks and the government are just squashing the citizens, and we got to work on doing something about it. And think about it. And Congress, we got to have a reminder to Congress that they're to serve the people, and us people not to serve them. And that's got to be the hoaxy wokesy that we've got going on right now, the big hoax in government. And we got to look at the trigenders. They're pushing it on our children, and the big corporations are working right along with it. And just like the gay Orioles, how can you get the kid's mind easier than eating a cookie and thinking about the rainbow color? And that's a hoax. And hey, kids, it's our products. You buy it. Our oppressive global corporation is supporting this LBJ group and their rights, and you support us, and we'll take over and end up taking every freedom you ever thought you had. And it's a hoax, and that's the way it's going, and we got to get out from under this hoax that we're living in right now. And it's kind of like looking out our back door. We got elephants a dancing, and we got a Democrats flying on the spoon, and we got to think about that big hoax that's going on in Washington. Just like we got to think about the corporate hoax. A Kellogg spokesman announces that Rice Krispies mascot Pop is now a trans woman. Now think about that. That's a hoax. We got to go from there. I'm telling you, if it wasn't so serious, it would be funny. Oh, I'm telling you, the world we live in, and the trigenders are just killing the women's sports, and there's no relief in sight. And we got to remember that you castrate a bull and he still turns into a steer. He don't turn into a cow. And when you castrate a man, he don't turn into a woman. He turns into a eunuch. And think about that. And that's the science of it. They say follow the science. Well, follow that science, because that's where we are. And the rest of it is hoax. And the fact that the women have to put up with transgender males taking over their sports, it's unfair, and it's not even think about it, but that's the way it is, and we're living under that hoax. And they're trying to tell you that the buffalo's the salt cow. Well, that's a hoax too. I'm telling you. Yeah, this video may be a hoax, but folks, that's the way we got to learn something. And they say trust the science, and then they say, well, you can say that you're black when you're white, and you can say you're a woman when you're a man and a man when you're a woman. And that's not science. Science, look in your drawers and they'll tell you what the science in your gender is. That's the way we come into it. And, it's got so to the point that God has moved to be under the FBI watch now. Oh, that's another big hoax. And, they're saying now that white silence is violence. So ain't nothing white folks can do except be violent and evil and racist. And we got to think about all of that stuff. And we got to remember that that's all a hoax, and there's nothing wrong with being white. We can love our race just like everybody else. We're not a white race and evil people. We're just people. There's some of all of it under all of it, just like there is under any other color. We got to think about it. And the only thing that complaining does is convince the people that we're not in control. Well, I guess that my complaining today about the hoax and the wokes is complaining, and that proves that we're not in control, but we got to get back there and try to get the control. And that's adios amigos, and we'll see you on the flip side.